My name's Anna. I should be retired, but I'm not retired. I'm just tired. And if you should be retired and you're having to work and it's wearing you down, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the channel. So I know the major obstacle for most of us is we don't have enough private pension. Now, I began a private pension when I was 30, and I'm sure all of you have got records of when you started your private pension and this expectation of when you got to 60. So of course now with the GOV telling us that, our generation living longer, so we can work an extra 7 years, but the reality of it is, can we? Or will we be dead before we collect that pension? Because my understanding of it is, I don't know what your understanding is, but please tell me, is that the current date of 67 is not set in stone. So it could be changed again. And that just renders us powerless. And that's what this whole thing has rendered us, powerless. So the question is, how do you take your power back? Please tell me in the comments, how do you feel you're taking your power back? Or have you just accepted it and you're just going along, fingers crossed that you live long enough to collect that pension? Now, if you do take your power back, then how do you do it? So I, for example, have taken my power back by, I don't have a work contract. I have a 0-hour contract, and that allows me to pick and choose when I work, where I work, and for how long I work. And although it doesn't have the added security of sickness benefits and the health program that they provide, it gives me a limited amount of freedom. But freedom is freedom. And if there's mornings that I don't have to turn that clock on, when I'm going to be working later on in the day, that's a win-win for me. And like you all who are in that age bracket, 63, the only thing I got when I was 60 was free prescriptions. Now, how does that work? You're going to live longer, but when you're 60, we're going to give you free prescriptions. Why would I need free prescriptions if I'm going to live longer? Don't even give me a bus pass, Not a bus pass so that I can jump on a bus and go. No. I'm going to live longer. So the only free thing we're going to give you when you're 60 is free prescriptions. So people out there, take your power back. I want to know how you're taking your power back, because some days it's a real struggle. So I want to know how you get over that struggle, how you get up and how you go out and how you operate. And more importantly than that is, how do you keep yourself happy? Not saying that's different. We're not going to use the word. I hate the way people use it in this day and age. I think it's just worn out. It's used inappropriately, in my opinion, because there's good and there's bad mental health. So the question is, how are you coping in between the time? And how do you keep yourself happy? Because there's only us that can make ourselves happy. So how do you excite yourself? I excite myself by doing trips that I've only ever dreamed of, that are within reach. And if I get any invitations or opportunities to go and do something, then I think, let me do it, because tomorrow's not a promise. So let me do it now. So, on the note of what do we do to make ourselves happy, because there's only us that can make ourselves happy at our age. The blessings of grandchildren, that is wonderful. But when your grandchildren go home, and when you're on holiday, or when you book that holiday, are you just booking it as a holiday? Or are you booking it with the mindset of, I'm going to do something, because I don't know if I'm going to get the chance to do it again. So on that note, I was asked by quite a young person if I wanted to do the 3 peak challenge with them, which is Snowdon, Ben Nevis and Scafell Pike. Even though I was very excited, I had to say no and remind them and myself that I'm 63, so there's no way I could do those three, one after the other. So I did negotiate whether we pick one and try and do one. So that is my motivation and excitement for this year, because it's going to take about 3 to 6 months of training, lots of walking. But as you know, I like walking, but this is going to be very different. So what are you doing this year? What's your challenge? What are some of the things that you would like to do that maybe in the past you've not been able to do, but now's the time? Let me know in the comment section below. So I think I'm going to leave the video here for now. I'm glad that you could join me, and I'm really, really hoping that we can begin a conversation around this, because there's lots of different aspects that this in-between time opens up for us. And if you are out there and you've been suffering in silence, well, now you don't need to. Like, subscribe, and join in the conversation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.